Hey everyone, Dave again here. I had just started the furnace up here a minute ago to start the metal melting for the sword. Unlike yesterday, I introduced the metal in while the pot is cold because we are dropping such a large amount in. We have actually put about 5 pounds of bronze in now, and I really don't want to drop it, risking damaging my crucible that was moderately expensive, and I don't want to crack it on the second burn. And then I'd have a bigger mess to clean up. So whenever we get a little bit of progress here, hopefully when the metal starts to melt a little bit, I'll be back with you guys. Hey guys, I don't know if you can see it down in there, but we have the bronze, and it's kind of hard to see, but it is down in there. There was a little piece of it that's actually become liquefied now. It's taken about a half hour, but we've actually got the bronze to start reducing to liquid. So within about another half hour, the big bars will be starting to turn, and we'll be getting them up to temperature. See you guys shortly. Okay guys, I've decided that since the metal's melting at a fairly decent pace, I'm going to mix my other brick of bronze in with it. That'll make about 7 pounds. So I'm going to pull it out here, show you what the metal looks like molten. This is a little different than yesterday's. And show how one brick's actually melting significantly faster than the other. The one I made yesterday actually has a lead content. The previous ones did not, but traditional bronze did have a lead content, so I decided to introduce them to make it a little more historic. So here goes. Once I get on the right side. Woo boy! As you can see down here, that is molten there. It is still very iridescent like the copper because of the heat, but it is, I promise you, actually bronze. This pot is getting very heavy now. That may have actually been a mistake adding to that second ingot, that third ingot, but I want to have the mixture properly homogenized when I pour a second sword, so this way all the ingots are exactly the same. Now guys, I'll be back with you here in just a little bit longer here, probably another half hour, and the metal should be reducing down to one big glob of liquid. Okay guys, I figure I'd give an update here since it has been probably about 45 minutes since I've been on camera. You see that dark spot down in there, a little bit lighter color. That is the only of the 3 ingots that are fully in shape. Now you see there on the bottom there's another one that has dropped into the liquid by about 2 inches in the last 5 minutes. So its base is pretty well gone. Probably within the next half hour, 45 minutes, we should be ready to pour. And we'll go from there. I'll show that as best I can. See you guys shortly. Okay guys, I figured since the third ingot is starting to give away, I've got about a 1/2 inch or 15 millimeter insertion depth on it now with the steel rod I use. I figure I'll go over the molds here. These are 2 butted molds. These actually were one piece with a parting agent to keep them from sticking together. So they should be a perfect cut. And I'd carved these reliefs in for the pour spout after the fact. So here in just a minute, I'm going to actually take the torch, my little hand torch, and start to heat these molds. I don't want to introduce the molten metal to these things cold. I did that when I poured the lead sword, and I got a lot of splash, and it burnt me fairly decent. I don't want to repeat this with a metal that is around 3 times the melting point. I want to have this pour perfect, get no splatter, and save from burning myself or any more of the grass. I already torched some of the grass yesterday by not putting it on sand. There's about a foot wide circle that's completely singed, so oh well. Back with you guys here in just, well, let me get the lighter. I'll do a little bit on the camera here just to show you what I'm planning on doing here. Because these here should be devoid of all moisture by now, or most of it, enough of it where I don't have to worry about it. So now I'm just trying to bring the temperature of the mold itself up to probably 300-400 degrees, maybe 500, just to, like I said, keep the temperature up so we don't have any splatter. So we're not introducing thermal shock into the molds here, because thermal shock causes things to crack, bust, or explode. So I'm just going to do this for a few minutes, guys, and hope to be back with you guys soon to show you a pour. Okay, people, there is the mold. The bronze is ready now. I removed some of the dross. It's just things that aren't melting right. I'll dissolve that out later. But I'm going to get ready to pull the crucible out of the foundry, pour it in. As you can see, there's my fire suppressant. So hopefully there's no splatter or anything. Let me get a block to pop this up a little bit. Just another second here, folks. So I would like the camera to point towards the top. I think that looks okay, so here we go. Okay, well, I just did put my head over the top of that. Was incredibly stupid. I should not have done that. But I was curious. I will not do that again. But now it is the waiting game. I will give the camera a brief look over top. I don't think that's enough metal in there, unfortunately, which disappoints me, but I will make do. I may have to figure something different out, but I'm happy with this right now. As you can see, we're venting a lot of heat right now. I'm going to give this probably 20 minutes before I actually pull this out and lay it down and open it back up. So guys, I'll be back with you whenever I open the mold up. Okay guys, I'm getting ready to open this thing up. I believe it's cooled enough where I can actually safely handle it. So, let's see if I can get it open and see what kind of result we got. Got a little bit of metal splash. Hopefully that will still, well, maybe it'll let me break it. I may have to try to force this one. Well, maybe open the other ones first. We'll come back to that one here in a minute. Looking here at my mold, it seems like it did survive pretty well. There are a few stress cracks from the heat. I believe it'll be good for a few more pours, probably 3 or 4 more. At least that's my hope. Oh, give me just a second here, guys. Let me get a crescent wrench here, and I'll be back with you once I get this strap broken free. Okay, guys, looks like I'm going to have to force that strap off. Yeah, you got bronze down in it. I can't make it let go, so I've carved off. And as the mold is cooling, it's actually developed several stress cracks that are fatal to it. So unfortunately, this mold is going to be retired at the end of this filming. I'm going to try to keep it as a dummy, but it will never be used again. Well, let's just pull pieces off. Yep, see, right back here we're missing several inches of the mold, or of the sword. So the cast did not work. I will still keep the sword for a while unless I decide to recast it, but this is the first successful, mildly successful cast we've had. And I'm just going to remove these bands instead of trying to fight with them, so we can get right to the weapon. So give me just a second here. I didn't think to grab my power drill. I had these off already, but oh well. Try lifting it now. Nope. Well, yep, they started to skinny off, so. Okay. Move all the material over here that spilled onto the side of the mold. Let me get the heat gun here. Make sure we're not looking at anything wild. Yeah, we're still looking well over 200 degrees on parts of it. And I think I see why I was short on metal. I think this area here is actually thicker than what it should have been. Because I actually should have had, by calculation, about enough metal in the pot to pour this twice. And I didn't even get a full cast. So, I know for next round to maybe thin this bad boy up a little bit. And see here, we've got some pock marks that will probably be devastating to it, even if I could save it. Well, I know it would be. Some here, 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 avoid there. But it is a complete weapon, I suppose. I'm going to have to rework everything and we'll go again, guys. Thanks for watching.